Hi, everybody. My name is Amy. I'm the Executive Director with Do It Green, Minnesota. This event is part of our Green Coffee Talk series. And we've been hosting Green Coffee Talks for almost 2 years. We had most of our coffee talks in person until COVID hit, and we've been doing everything on Zoom ever since. So not quite ideal, but it's been fun to kind of play around with Zoom a little bit and try to be interactive. And this coffee talk is going to be one of our more interactive sessions. So I'm so happy to see you guys with your video on. That's awesome. Because we're hoping to have some discussion and lots of chatting and talking together. And I think Uni, our presenter, is planning to break us out into some breakout rooms too. So we had a couple other coffee talks yesterday. We had one about green careers, and we had one about eco holidays. Those were recorded and posted on our YouTube page, so you guys can go in and check those out too. And if you guys are okay, I'm planning to record this, but maybe once we break out and have some personal chatting, I'll take the recording off so you guys don't feel like you're being recorded. Are you guys okay with the first part being recorded? Okay, anyone oppose? Okay. So the event you're in right now is Cultivating Health and Wellness for You and the Earth. And my good friend Uni is here to present and facilitate this event. He's with OWL, which stands for Our Wellness and Liberation. And it's a program, right, off the Boundless Love Project organization. And Uni is an old friend and a longtime activist and organizer who is happy to facilitate a space around personal and collective wellness to have a positive impact on the earth. So I met Uni years and years and years ago. I don't even know how many years it's been, decade ago at least, working on as activists on animal rights issues, and have known Uni through all these years. And he is an amazing activist. He's a great listener. He's always open to hearing all sides of issues, and is always doing new and different work in the community to help strengthen the community in different ways and speak for those that don't have voices. So glad to have you here, Uni.
Thanks so much, Amy. Thanks for that generous introduction. Yeah, my name is Unina Budripad. I use he, him pronouns. And it's been 23 years, Amy, if we're counting really carefully.
Gosh.
And I want to say, yeah, I'm really happy to be here. And Amy and also Amber Schmidt, who's also here, are two people I first met when I got involved in animal advocacy, and were real leaders and mentors to me. And I look back really fondly in seeing their leadership with kindness and acceptance. And also, you know, through the years, Amy, I see that you really lean into what we're bringing, like the conversation that we want to have today about trying to make the biggest difference we can for the earth, for animals, but also like taking care of ourselves really carefully, you know. And what I see in you, Amy, and all the full enthusiastic life that you live, and all your different practices to stay healthy and well, that sustains you as a person and also sustains our community and sustains our work, right? And so we're trying to balance these things, and I think you exemplify a lot of what that we want to do. So really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. It's so important. And before everything started, Uni and I were just talking about some highs and some lows that we've had, and I'm sure we all have been dealing with that in all our work and with ourselves and taking care of the earth, and all of our other work, taking care of our family. So hopefully we can find some skills with Uni tonight to take care of us too.
Yeah, and I am now gonna share the screen, but don't worry, like like Amy said, this won't be a whole presentation where I'm talking at you, I promise. Share this right here. Can you see this okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Great. Okay, so this is what we'll be doing today. We'll have, we'll do a short meditation, and then we'll do an exercise, a conversation about individual wellness, and then we'll have more of a conversation. You know, I want to do introductions, but I think we have enough people here that might take a little bit too much time. So I guess I'm going to apologize for not having the space. It might be a challenge with Zoom rooms. So let's start with a short meditation. And, you know, the reason I want to do this meditation is that, you know, when I'm having conversations or engaging around wellness, I like to, as best as we can, to try to practice wellness things, you know, in the moment. And meditation is a relatively accessible activity. Don't worry if you haven't meditated before. This will be a very simple activity. And we'll do a 5-minute body scan meditation. So I want to invite you to, and as I give instructions, do what feels comfortable and right to you, and make adjustments as that seems fit. I want to encourage you, if you can, to put your feet on the floor and sit upright, but not in a stiff position. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. It's okay to open your eyes if you'd like that as well. And we're going to start from the bottom and move to the top. So we'll start with our toes. And I want you to notice your toes, or alternatively, you can flex your toes and take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And as I give these instructions, I will say to notice a body part, and you can either notice or you can flex. And so now we will notice our ankles and breathe in. And breathe out. Next, we'll move up to our calves and our shins. So notice your calves and your shins. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And as I give these instructions, you might notice your mind wandering, and that's fine. That's what the mind will do. And if you can, just if you notice that, just gently say to yourself, just notice that you're wandering, and bring your attention back to your body and back to my instructions. And let's notice your knees and breathe in. And breathe out. And notice your thighs and breathe in. Breathe out. And notice your pelvis and breathe in. And breathe out. And notice your hands and breathe in. And breathe out. Notice your elbows and breathe in. And breathe out. Notice your stomach. Breathe in and breathe out. Notice your chest and breathe in. Breathe out. And notice your neck and breathe in. Breathe out. And notice your mouth and breathe in. Breathe out. Notice your nose and breathe in. Breathe out. Notice your eyes and breathe in. Breathe out. And notice your forehead and breathe in. Breathe out. And then we'll just do one final breath together. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Thanks for joining me in this meditation. And I also want to say that they call it meditation practice, and meditation practice is not practice to become a better meditator, but practice for life. And if you feel that meditation is leading you to lead a life of more calm and peace and other things that you might want to get out of meditation, then I encourage you to keep practicing it. And if not, then maybe some other wellness practice might be a better place for you. So the first thing we'll talk about is individual wellness practices. And, as I was saying just now, meditation might work for some folks, and for some it doesn't work as well. And so when we think about individually, we want to find what works for us, what meets our needs emotionally, spiritually, physically, socially. And then whatever forms we might take and whatever we might encourage other people, some of these things will work for other people and won't work for others. And I say this is really important because we have to recognize our differences when we are trying to do these practices and encourage practices with other people. So that brings us to our exercise. So what I want us to do is reflect upon, I have this a particular wellness exercise that I like, walking, a very simple one, like a lot of things that I like to do. And what I want us to do is to think about how walking fulfills us. And as I was saying, not everybody can walk, right? I mean, this is a limiting activity, and so just want to recognize that. So I'm going to paste in the chat right now a link to this presentation. And what I want you to do is open it up, and we are going to edit this Google slide together. So I've put this in the chat, and it should be accessible for everybody to open it up. And if you want to go to the 5th slide. And if some folks are joining just by voice, then I'll do my best to narrate what's happening here. So have folks been able to open that up? I see a thumbs up here. Yes. Great.
So Uni, or to anyone who hasn't gotten it, if you click on the bottom bar, right, and you click on participants, then a sidebar should show up with a link. And if you click on that link, it should download the
Yes.
activity document.
Thanks. That is correct, Amy. Okay, so if you're in there, I see a bunch of people are in there. You can pick up a little figure at the bottom right and move it to the place that works best for you. So I use walking as a wellness exercise because it's both relaxing and it helps me emotionally. And those are the things I look for the most when I go for a walk. If you're somebody who does it more for physical fitness and to energize yourself, then maybe you put that in the top right. If it's everything, then maybe you can put your square in the middle. And I don't mean this to be comprehensive about how what ways in which walking can be fulfilling to a person. Rather, these are just some dimensions. And if you can, go ahead and double click inside the square and you can type your name in there. Great, I see a lot of people are figuring this out. If you have any questions, maybe you can say it out loud or type it in the chat.
It's fun. So used to presentations on Zoom.
I'm glad you like this, Amy. Yeah, I get really zoomed out of just watching things. So that's why I like to do this, to get us to do things together. There's an organization called Training for Change, and they do trainings on how to train. And I learned some things from them.
Super fun.
Okay, I'm gonna call out a couple of people. That's okay if you want to talk about why you chose what you chose. So if I can ask Olas, if that's how I pronounce that.
Ulas, you are in mute.
They might not know that's their name.
No, he says his microphone does not work.
Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, how about, I don't know how to pronounce this as well, but Khadija?
Yeah.
Would you like to share why you put what walking is for you?
Yeah, I put relaxing, if that's right, right? Yeah, I put relaxing because I'm more of a chill person. Like, I like the energy of relaxation.
Great. Molly, would you like to share?
Yeah, I'll share. I put mine, let me look where I put mine. I put it between relaxing and emotional well-being because a lot of times if I just have a lot of thoughts running through my head and I could just go for a walk and either just think them out, that will improve my emotional well-being and I will relax. So I kind of put it in the middle.
Great, thanks. And I'll just kind of open it up. Is there anybody else who would like to share? There's something to say.
I will. It's Katie. For me, I put it under relaxing because if I'm outdoors, nature usually just calms me down. I look for lighting and shadows. And I usually take my camera with me and puts me in a creative, calm spot. I like nature.
Great, yeah, and that's a good point to bring out. The nature appreciation is part of the relaxing aspect of this for you, right?
I know that for me, the time of day that I go out affects it a lot, whether it's relaxing or energizing.
Mhm.
Like early morning walks for me are pretty energizing. Any walk where I'm kind of greeting the sunlight or feeling a lot of sunlight is energizing, but night walks in safe areas where I'm not constantly looking over my shoulders tend to be pretty relaxing, because I kind of tune out the world and just focus on me.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Nikita. Great, and I'm going to go back, and if it's okay, I can share my screen again. And although if you can't, if you want, you can look at the slides on your own computer if you like. That also works. So I want to transition us to talk about community wellness. I have a lot of text there, so I apologize. That's a lot. Don't worry if you can't read this all. So, we come here together as a group because we're concerned not just about our own personal wellness, but about the wellness and health of our community. And wellness itself is a term that, some people, I've heard some people say that they don't like that term because it represents just who has access to wellness and who has the wealth. And I understand that objection to the term, and what I want to say is what we're really trying to do here is think about wellness and healing as something that's nourishing us and is nourishing our community, and that nourishing our community comes in two forms, and that is actually the people, like the people that we're having conversations with here, or the people in our work or activist or personal lives, those people, but then also the wellness of all creation, animals, and the environment, right? So that's a lot, I know, but the activities that we can do, that we can lead to help make this happen are things that we're familiar with, right? So I listed a few things that resonate with me. They're not all things that I do, but things that I like leading dance parties to cultivate playfulness and joy, take friends cross-country skiing to enjoy the outdoors and contribute to fitness. I know that Amy is also a big fan of that as well. That's something that we've done together. Listen with empathy to cultivate emotional well-being, and lead a meditation or play a meditation for spiritual and emotional health as some examples. So I want to say that, just a moment here. So now I want to open up the question of how folks in this room contribute wellness in our community. And again, I have a lot of questions here. So I bolded the main question that I want to ask, which is, what forms of wellness do you excel at and like to offer to your community? And I want to ask this question with, think of this as not there can be a challenge of wellness for being another thing to do on our list. And I want us to not frame it in our minds in that way, and see embracing wellness and activities, like going for a walk or doing a meditation, when and where it fits in our lives, that it seems like it's contributing and is not leading to overwhelm and doing too much. The related question here is, the previous question I have is, what communities do you want to facilitate wellness in? And this is something I don't know enough about the folks here, about what communities they're in. So I mentioned activist communities, work communities, um, social communities. And I'm thinking that a lot of us are doing positive things for the environment, for animals. And Amber, I hope you don't mind if I mention you. Amber works at a bike shop that I really love, and I have gone there a lot, and it's been a really important piece for me to ride my bike around town. And so I think like, oh, that might be an example. If Amber was interested in it, if she was cultivating wellness within that community, it's something that is also cultivating wellness within the broader community of trying to do the best for the environment and for all creation. I've done a lot more, common activist kind of things that we think of, like lobbying or trying to change company policies or things like that. Okay, so with that, I want to open up the conversation for folks to contribute this. Yeah.
I'll go. So even though I work with Do It Green and we try to promote and educate communities about easy ways they can reduce their impact on the environment, my personal passion and in my soul is really when I can connect people to the outdoors in any way that works for them. So being able to help share the outdoors with people that normally don't get that opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. Not surprised to hear that, although I guess until you said it, I don't know that I knew that either.
I can go. I really like creating spaces for people so that they can have community. I really enjoy facilitating that process and for the community to create their own kind of space. And I do that by creating events for the community, such as like my local community, such as Pasta Night. And also recently creating an intentional community around something called nonviolent communication to kind of bring people together, as well as animal rights activists as well.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. I know that you've done that a lot. That's a great example. I realize it might be a little challenging with a lot of people to know, well, when to step in.
I'll go. With us being shut in with COVID, I've been really focusing on seniors. So I've raised my hand to help with an organization in my neighborhood with healthy seniors. So I send postcards and write to them and things of that nature, maybe do a little shopping, not too much because we all have the same masking issue. But that's a very special community through COVID. And it's, health and wellness, mental health, because there's a lot of loneliness out there. And it's good for me too. So that, and then in my immediate neighborhood, in my block, I always put a big green ribbon on my healthy elm tree in the boulevard, and I encourage people to take a picture hugging the tree. So there's a lot of pictures, including Karen Clark. I've had her come over, do pictures with the tree canopy over her, but it's one of the healthy elms in the city. So it creates a fun space. And then the messaging is on the sidewalk, so people have to basically trip on it, and then they go, oh yeah. So it's not exactly right on messaging, but that's what I do. I'm retired, so I create a lot.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Katie.
I've got something in the Sheridan neighborhood. They were really promoting the Adopt a Drain program earlier this year. So I adopted a couple drains, which was exciting. So that's, promoting wellness, I guess, on our block, but also bigger picture to the river. And Sheridan's had a lot of good neighborhood pickup garbage events, which was nice because you got to meet people in the community, I guess, from a distance, and then they provided all the tools you needed and kind of clean things up. So I was happy about that.
That's great, Molly. I adopted the drain near my house, and I just did a cleanup today. I mean, it's just like 2 minutes to go to the drain and do that, but I haven't ever done that as a group. It sounds like when you do the adopt a drain, have you done that as a group as well?
No, that was just like a group, pick up garbage around the community thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, everyone. Udi, I have a question for you. So besides ways to think about spending time in nature or getting exercise, what other ideas do you have for integrating ways to take care of ourselves through the work that we're doing in our community, like so we don't get burnt out, or during the times that are really low, that it feels like we're not making a difference, maybe to keep us.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I guess even when I was asking these questions, I was thinking, well, what's my answer to this question? I think I have so many things that I like, but one of the top ones for me is cooking. I like to cook with and for other people. And I've done a lot of that in my life. And, most recently I've cooked with my roommates to make food for unsheltered folks, as well as I cooked a couple of weeks ago with Food Not Bombs. They're a little more organized effort to make vegetarian and vegan food for folks in need. And also they have contributed to social movements as well. And when I spend more time doing that, it gives me the space to, discover what foods are both healthy and nourishing and affordable, and really align different aspects of what we want from food. And doing it as a social thing, I feel like contributing both to other folks as well as doing it with other people. So I cooked with Food Not Bombs and with my roommate to make it a social activity. And I almost every time I cook, without exception, I make a lot of food for myself as well. So this really helps with the overwhelm, because what I'm doing is also very productive for me, and that I have, a week of soup in my fridge. And then that means when I have a busy day, frantic day, I have some healthy food that's ready to go and ready to eat. And that's, even with the walking exercise, what I was thinking is sometimes it can be really helpful to think about activities that meet multiple needs for you, so that you can get all your needs met, right? And because we have a lot of different needs, and we have different needs based on who we are and what our life circumstances are, we have to figure that out individually for ourselves as well.
Yeah, does anybody else want to share what works for them? Ways that you take care of yourself, and ways that you make sure to add that into your schedule so that you are taking care of yourself and not just giving and being a part of giving to the community, but making sure that you're keeping yourself nourished and healthy and mentally and physically. Anybody have any favorites? Well, thank you, Uni, for sharing the meditation and sharing the interactive activity. And thank you all for being a part of this session. And Uni, do you have any parting words or parting information you want to share? You want to talk a little bit about the Boundless Love Project or OWL?
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about them. So the Boundless Love Project is what they do. What we do is promote wellness and mindfulness, and also contribute to social change and social movements. And Boundless Love Project has been a little broader in all kinds of social movements for LGBT issues. For they worked on the stopping line 3, and a lot of other things, and general wellness meditation. And my project, Our Wellness and Liberation, is specifically around animal advocacy, which is what I have done as an activist most of my life. Is or the biggest thing is around advocating for non-human animals. And so I've hosted events and projects to promote wellness in this community. And so I've done things like a retreat and meditations and a wellness day and things like that. I haven't really figured out what to do during pandemic times, to be honest. So things have been slow, and I'm, like a lot of the practices themselves, I'm trying to I can be okay with that. That I don't know what to do with this time, but doing these activities has been really fulfilling, because I see so many people who are really devoted to making change, and also struggling in so many different ways. And that when I feel like I can create activities to help people sustain their work and do so in a more loving and compassionate way, that feels really great. Yeah, I think to some degree this whole conversation is kind of crowdsourcing for the things that I might do, but of course I want you to do them as well.
Yeah, so on the Boundless Love Project's website, there's some pre-recorded meditations on there, right?
Yes, thanks.
We'll explore that. And we also have on our Green Gifts Fair event webpage, it's a kind of a beginner meditation that Freeman with the Boundless Love Project recorded specifically for this event to kind of guide people into introduction of meditation. So if you guys want to try his meditation out, you can go on the digmn.org website, and if you click under each of the days, you can see there are different videos and activities to download that you can try. And my daughter and I made a few videos. If you guys has anyone checked out the craft or eco holiday gift ideas videos? Well, you should. So my daughter and I made some videos about saving seeds, making lavender bath salts as gifts, giving seeds as gifts, harvesting with permission, pine cone bird feeders. So some really fun things that also could be a way to calm and relax your body during a time that you might feel kind of stressed out. Like that pine cone bird feeder is almost meditative, because you get a pine cone and then you have to put peanut butter on every single one of those little cone pieces. So there's some fun ideas on our website too. There's a scavenger hunt, a nature scavenger hunt. So you guys should explore that some more. And oh, whoa, look at that pine cone that Katie has. That's a huge, where did you get that big one? I think you're on mute.
It was somewhere up north a long time ago. I have 3 of them. They were huge. Yeah, I've had them.
Wow.
It is cool, but I had to show you. It's just gigantic compared to the little one.
Yeah, that would be a huge pine cone bird feeder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to give those as gifts, then you can give bags of seeds so people can refill them, because when my daughter and I hung ours up, it was about 10 minutes later that all the seed was gone. So you might need a refill. Part of it was we hung it too low because the squirrels got them, got all the seeds.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, make sure to hang a little higher. But yeah, Katie, if you make a pine cone bird feeder,
Take
send
a
us
picture.
a picture of that bad boy. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
And Amy,
You know that Lost 40 up north, that Lost 40 acres?
Oh
It-
yeah.
Yeah, it's a Scrivener's error or whatever, so that that's kind of the area where I got it. So they're old, very old trees up there. So
if I understand correctly, those are 40 acres that were accidentally never logged, right? And
yeah,
so those
right.
old
Yeah,
growth forests in northern Minnesota that the loggers.
yeah. It's up by my sister's house, so
Mhm.
I've been up there, quite a bit.
Where is that? Like near what city is it?
Well, she lives in Longville, so there's Federal Dam, and it's just that whole area. It's probably within the 40-mile radius of that area.
Yeah, my cabin, this is Carla. My cabin's less than a mile from it. It's nearest to like North Home.
Okay.
Yeah, Black Duck area.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. I always like to find new places to explore.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a fun new natural space that they found that you hadn't been to before? Amber, what was the park that we went to on our last trip up north? Do you remember the name of it? Banning?
Yeah.
Banning State Park. Have any of you been there?
Yeah.
We just
I went
happened to be there right during the peak of the fall colors, and it was like the whole canopy was all yellow. Like I've never seen any other place like that before. It was like glowing, wasn't it, Amber? I'm sorry, what were you gonna say, Laura?
Oh, I went to Banning a few months ago. It is gorgeous, yes. My husband, he is a delivery driver, and so we try and stay within his area.
Oh,
And so Banning is technically in his area, so that was really fun to go up to.
yeah, it's only an hour and a half from the cities, if that's where all of you are in the Twin Cities. So it wasn't, I mean, if you don't have a car, it's far, but if you have a car, it was not too bad of a ride. And it's a really beautiful, there's a really beautiful hike that goes along kind of a rushing river and then up along a higher trail. So it was really.
I have biked there. It took me a couple days to get there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So those of you who don't know Uni, he does a lot of long, wild bike trips. So what was your most recent trip, Uni? Where did you go?
Oh, I went up to Taylor's Falls in that area, and William O'Brien and a couple different parks this summer. Yeah.
Fun.
Long trip. Amy, I have a question for you. So for folks who want to continue this conversation in community or in other places, is there a good place for them to connect with the Do It Green community and folks who share some interests?
Well, so I would encourage you to join our coffee talk tomorrow night. It's about environmental justice. It's with a group called Family of Trees. And they're pretty new. They're less than a year old. But I think I saw Michaela is on here. She's with that group. Michaela, do you want to talk about Family of Trees really quick?
Yeah, sorry. So I got introduced to Family of Trees this summer through, I'm pretty sure she's one of the founders, Erica. And we did me and I think 5 other teenagers, we did fellowships, and we did like planting trees in our community and watering trees, and we got a stipend out of it because of like COVID. A lot of people our age these days can't really get great jobs, but the organization is really amazing. We recently did what was it? We did volunteers and we planted, I think, about 80 trees in one day, all around the community for whoever wanted it for free. It's a really cool organization. They just do a lot for the community and it's just so cool.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Michaela. And Michaela's also going to be one of our storytime readers on Sunday evening. So the books that we're going to be reading are elementary age appropriate, but actually I think all adults or older people would also enjoy the subject matter. And so you guys should join us for story time, or have one of your nephews or cousins or grandchildren join us too. We'll have a story time and a dance party on Sunday. But Michaela's also part of a part of the group with Family of Trees. They're called Youth Empower. And they all worked on, Michaela, did you work on a mural too? Did you make a mural with the?
Yeah, I did.
Awesome. So we'll be showcasing those during the dance party. So you guys will get to see some of the environmental justice murals that the youth made and created. They're beautiful. And next week, we're hoping they'll get hung in the Midtown Global Market so people can see. Although unfortunately, it's only takeout now, so there won't be a lot of hanging out, but maybe some people will be able to walk in and have something beautiful to see. But going back to Uni's question, if we're planning to have these discussions at least once a month, I know the Family of Trees is interested in having some regular discussions about environmental justice topic in particular. So if you guys want to join in tomorrow night, and then they have a lot to talk about. They have a lot of topics that they want to cover. So I could definitely see that becoming a series that all of us could join and participate in. And we could, it's at 6:30 tomorrow. So tomorrow is the environmental justice coffee talk, and then Sunday is the story time and dance party. And the dance party is being curated by Curio Dance. So Dario, who is running the dance party, is going to do lights and music, and he's going to DJ. So lots of fun, different things. But if you guys have a topic that you'd want to lead, or you know of an organization that would like to lead a topic, we're open to all kinds of formats and all different topics. And like Uni's was more of discussion, and other people like to do more of a presentation. So let me know. You can just email me. I'll type in my email here. And you guys should just explore, whoops, that was how do I get it to everybody? Here we go. And then just explore our website. We have a new toolbox that we just started on our website. So if you go to doitgreen.org and you go to connect, there's something called a toolbox. And it has all kinds of resources about eco-living and building strong communities. And if you have some resources you want to share in there, we can upload in there too. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Uni, for your time. And just the meditation alone was like nice and calming for my body.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming.
That, yeah.
Thanks for doing this.
Mission accomplished. I fell asleep just for a moment.
You did? That's amazing.
I can do that. Just
Amy, can we do the polling?
Oh yeah. Okay, so if you guys are willing to share a little bit of feedback about this coffee talk, and then it's a little survey, and if you want to share a topic that you'd like to hear about, or a topic that you'd like to share about, you can share on this poll too. Or do we have a blank, Shanti, for people to share text on there?
Yeah, I opened it, and already people are working on it.
Oh, you
I
did.
launched the poll, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
6 of them has replied.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow for the environmental justice. It's a panel conversation.
Can we wait for a second? Someone is asking, where can I look for the recording? I will put it in the chat window so they can, it would be helpful for them.
Oh, sure.
1 minute.
Oh, our YouTube channel link?
Yeah, I'm going to send the channel link.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
so our past coffee talks were recorded and we're starting to put them on our YouTube channel. So you guys can check those out if you miss them too. And including the one tomorrow, if you can't make it. Although we may not record the whole dance party, so I think you just need to be there live for that.